Hello, hello. What's going on? It's Wednesday, I think, right? Yeah, Wednesday. We're going to try something new today. We are going to start reading right where we left off. How about that? Doesn't that sound good? So, if you remember, hopefully we had that good class discussion, as I say all the time. And if you remember, they were talking insurance. And I talked about my insurance dealings. And so Sawyer, Jules, and the siblings, even though she wants to be alone with him, they're going to go in search of basic necessities, right? Things like underwear. Super exciting. Something you definitely want to do for. We never talked about how old she is, but I think she's 17 now, right? She was 16. I think she's 17. All right, let's go with this. We stop at the ATM to get money. Thankfully, all three of us deposited our latest stash of tip money on Saturday, so we didn't lose much. We head to the underwear section of the local everything store. It's probably a Walmart or something, right? Over the course, oh, and I forgot to mention, hang on. They're actually going to go to a restaurant in a minute that reminds me a lot of C40, and that makes me very hungry. But luckily, one of my children, every time, okay, one of my children just, you don't want to hear about my children, but really quick, it's mostly about food. One of my children, every birthday, they will go to C40. Thumbs up for me. And then another one of my children, every time they have a birthday, they like KP's, the chicken place. Or you can get scallops there or whatever. And last night we were going to get KP's for a birthday and they were closed. So I think they're closed now Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Thank you, COVID. I blame COVID. People aren't working as much. Prices are getting high. So I don't think they had enough staff to be open on a Tuesday. So we'll have to wait till Saturday. We're going to get KP's on Saturday. All right. Anytime I hear food, I have to stop. All right. All right, let's go. Over the course of 30 minutes, we're right here, Sawyer transforms from suspicious looking ladies department fringe creeper, that is always embarrassing if you're with your wife or your girlfriend in that section, to active participant in camisole and bra fetching. So a camisole is like does anybody know? It's like a shirt that you would wear. Mostly, I think, with women, it would fall into the women's department. They would wear under like clothing. It's usually kind of silky. I think it helps that as soon as Trey grabs his boxer briefs and a few other necessities from the men's department, we begin roaming our section, letting everyone know how he feels about the various design collections. We get some clothes too, but not very many because, as Trey points out, we're really not sure if we're going to need our savings for other things like a place to live, because we definitely don't want to live in Aunt Mary's living room forever. In electronics, we pick up phone chargers for the whole family, which Sawyer insists on paying for. We buy a few snacks to replenish Aunt Mary's cupboards, and then we go. When Sawyer drops us off at 5:45, Trey and Rowan take bags inside, and Sawyer and I finally get a few moments of privacy in the car. It's not too bad here. I think we can read it. Sawyer reaches for my hand. He kisses each knuckle and looks at me with his sweet, sweet eyes. And then he slides his free hand through my hair, leans in, kissing me, our entwined fingers trapped between his chest and mine, our hearts beating through them. And I feel like the fire is inside me now. I promise it doesn't go too much further. It doesn't get too awkward. After a moment, we break apart, and I glance nervously at the house windows, but nobody's spying. Sawyer traces my wet lips with his thumb. Maybe a little awkward there, but let me know if you need anything, he says. I will. You going to school tomorrow? Yeah. Good. Felt weird being there without you today. I nod and look down. Does everybody know? Yeah, it was pretty much the topic of the morning. People are sorry. Mr. Pacelli wants me to tell you he's glad your family's okay. That was nice of him. Right at the top. Let's go there. Suddenly, I don't want to go to school. It's going to be awkward. Not for the first time this year. I glance at the dashboard clock. I should get inside before my dad starts with the pregnant bit, I say. Sawyer smiles. He releases my hand and reaches behind my seat, pulls out a package with a bow. Here, he says, handing it to me. I look at him. But you paid for the phone charges and a bunch of other stuff. He shrugs. So, you think I want to be known as the guy who got his girlfriend a phone charger and underwear for her birthday? You think I want that hanging over my head for the rest of my life? The rest of his life. He catches himself and adds, I mean, when you're famous and you're out there telling your first boyfriend stories, well, I don't want to be remembered for that. I laugh, but it sounds hollow in my ears. Yeah, I know that guy. He's from American Pickers. I guess I don't want to be known. I guess I don't want you to be that guy either, since it would only make me look bad when it comes to my choice of boyfriends. I shift my eyes to the package and start opening it, letting the distraction of working the tape corners ease the awkwardness of the moment. Under the paper is a plain brown rectangular box. Perfume, I guess? No guessing. I shake it. You might not want to do that. Can of soda? Which is somehow better than a phone charger? To open it. I can't imagine what it is. It's too heavy and big for jewelry, and it's clearly not a book. What else do boys get girls for their birthday? I open the box and pull out something in bubble wrap. I ease the tape off and unwind it to find a superhero bobblehead in my own likeness. And on my cape is a giant letter I. I crack up and tap my bobblehead. Best present ever. How do you do it? He looks relieved. Through a website. I sent him a photo of you. I examine it. Dark hair, brown eyes, skeptically arched eyebrow. Yeah, that's me. I point to the letter I on the cape. Is that for interesting? Intelligent? No, he says quietly. Important, I guess. Batting my lashes. He shakes his head. No, wait. I know. Insane. No, he says. It's for invincible. Invincible. I repeat. He nods and looks away. Because I need you to be. For the first time since the fire, I think long and hard about the vision curse. So notice, significance there, curse. That's maybe the first time she's actually considering that it could be a curse. She thought it was a blessing before, I think. Opportunity to save lives. Now, maybe she's not so sure. Maybe it ruins lives. Mom, oh man, I should just say really quickly for 1 second. Man, that you probably heard the news about that awful school shooting in Texas. Just felt, I should probably say something about it. Just absolutely horrific. Can't imagine what the parents are going through. I think when I went to bed last night, it was 14 children and a teacher. And now I think the last I saw, I got up in the middle of the night to check the story, and I think it was 18. So absolutely awful. It would have been nice, right? Somebody has a vision and could stop that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's awful, awful stuff. All right, back. I almost ended the broadcast, which you probably wouldn't have minded. But I know some people wouldn't mind. Like, finally, some people like it though. I think almost in every class. I know in every single class, except for the last class. I don't know. Last class, not many people pay attention to it, but I think most classes, there's at least a handful of people that are into the story, which is good. I know I am. I keep checking the little pie chart with the answers, 77%. So if you don't want to read it, have your voice be heard. But right now, it looks like a lot of people do. All right, back to this. Where were we? Right at the top. 10. Mom, Dad, Trey, Rowan, and I pile into the delivery car, which no longer has anything to deliver. So I guess it's just a car. We go to one of those Japanese teppanyaki places. We just call it a hibachi grill around here, but where the chef does all those spatula and knife tricks and make an onion volcano and tosses food into his hat and at your face. And we all try really hard to have a good time for the sake of everybody else or somebody else. It's weird, actually. The 5 of us all eating dinner together like today is Christmas Day or something. And when I think about how life could be like this for who knows how long, it makes me feel like I'm suffocating. Yeah, and that's the sad reality. I'm sure probably more so for parents than the children. But Trey's 18, she's 17, Rowan is 15. I mean, the fact that all five of them, like just the five of them, are going to have dinner, the days are numbered. Eventually, they will have significant others, they'll have, families and stuff, or they'll be off to college. So the five of them going to a restaurant and eating, the days are numbered. It won't be very much longer. Probably you can count a couple handfuls, right? Well, who knows? Maybe now that they don't have a house, that'll happen a bit more often. But during the lull, in the chef action, Rowan makes a paper airplane with her used napkin and gives it to me for my birthday. Trey presents me with his soup spoon and 3 mints that he swiped from the register area while we're waiting to be seated. And mom and dad slip me $20. No card or anything. They haven't had time to do more. The chef finds out it's my birthday, and he does the fake ketchup squirt trick on me where a red string comes out of the bottle when he squeezes it and tosses me an extra shrimp. And then after we're done eating, the server brings me a free dessert with a candle in it, which is pretty cool. When we get back to Aunt Mary's, she and the younger 2 cousins are frosting a birthday cake for me. So, of course, I'm forced to eat a piece of that. What a shame. But for once, I can't even finish it. My stomach feels like lead. Being here at Aunt Mary's is like a glaring reminder that our home has been destroyed. And finally, as 11 Italians sit around in rare, quiet, eating cake, Trey asked the question we've all wanted to ask, but didn't quite know how. So, Pops, what are we going to do now? It's startling. My dad looks at him, and at first, his face goes to that normal sternness that we've gotten so used to recently, as if Trey was acting up. But then it softens. We have insurance, Dad says. We're going to be okay. Well, are you going to rebuild the restaurant or what? Rowan asks. Dad looks at Mom. We don't know yet, Mom says. We're trying to figure that out. I sit up. What would you do if we don't rebuild? Do you know how to do anything else? That could sound a little bit harsh right there. Mom laughs and looks offended. I didn't mean it like that, I say, even though I think I did. I can't imagine my parents doing anything else, especially my dad. I like to see him get his butt out of bed for a regular day in, day out, job day in, day out. What about the house? Rowan asks. She glances at Aunt Mary. I mean, we love you and all, but we can't live here forever. We're working on it, my father says. We'll know more soon. We're trying to figure everything out. The room erupts into loud conversation about our options, when the cousins giving animated ideas of what my parents could do for a living instead of running a restaurant, such as joining the circus or being professional birthday party clowns. Trey and I get into it, and the house turns back into a typical boisterous family gathering once more. When the doorbell rings, I get up to answer it, like I live here, and it's Ben. Oh, that would be a good place for us to stop, but we'll read on just a touch more, just a little bit more. I stare at him, at first confused by how he knew where to find us, but then I gather my senses. So probably Trey, right? Text or whatever. Come in, I say, and a delighted grin spreads across my face. It's really great to see you. Hey, he says, so sorry. Sawyer called me. I can't believe it. I know. I usher him in. He looks a little frightened by the noise coming from the dining room. Don't be scared. This is our typical decibel level whenever the family gets together. I don't want to intrude. You're not. In fact, I think you will lift the spirits of more than just me by your presence. I grin, and he blushes. I drag him through the breezeway and into the kitchen, which is connected to the dining room. And when Trey notices us, he stops talking, mid-sentence. He shoves his chair back and stands up. His face betrays just how much it means to him to see Ben. Everybody stops talking and turns to look at what Trey is looking at. Ben waves nervously. Hi, he says, not sure which of the adults to address. This is our friend Ben, I say. At the name, Rowan perks up, and I remember she's never met him. I introduce everybody. Sorry about the fire, Ben says. You must be really shocked, sad. Trey springs to life, comes to Ben's rescue. He rushes over, turns Ben around, and guides him back to the breezeway so they can talk. And Rowan whispers, he's so cute. I say. Why can't you go out with him instead of that other one? My father booms too loudly, but for once, there's no anger in his tired voice. Is that a joke? Let's see. Well, I guess we'll have to keep reading to find out. Is no anger? Oh, I stare at him. Seriously, there are so many things wrong with that question that I don't know where to start. I say, what's that supposed to mean? It's just a question. He's gay, Dad, Rowan says, licking the frosting off her fork. Oh, well, why didn't you just say that? He's not Italian, Uncle Vito remarks. So? Mom's eyes flash. She turns to me. Is he are he and Trey? I shrug. It's not for me to say. However, there's Rowan. They made out. God, Ro. I say. I start laughing. They didn't, actually. Poor Ben. Why poor Ben? Mom asks. Bristling. I think we've heard that before. Bristling. Yeah, we've used that before there. We're good people. What's wrong with us? Is he too good for us? No, he's just scared to death. He's not Italian, Uncle Vito says again. Exactly. That's why he's scared. That's what I'm saying, Uncle Vito says. He picks his teeth. So what is he? Mexican? Vito, Aunt Mary and Mom say together. What? It's just a question. It's racist, Mom asks. Aunt Mary says. Oh, for crying out loud. It's not. People ask me that all the time. They do not, Aunt Mary says. It's too obvious with you. All right. Either way, it's rude. Mom says he's American, like everybody else. All right. That's a good place. Good place for us to stop. All right. Oh, 17 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely a good place for us to stop. All right. Not Italian. Yeah. Old people, I think, I guess anybody can be racist, but particularly old people. I think, things are so different now and the terminology and what you should ask. It's like, I think old people sometimes come off sounding racist, even though they might not be, even though they might be though. Some of the older people, well, whatever. I guess they're racist people of all ages, right?